Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review NRL Fantasy after round 10 of the 2024 NRL season. And I guess in a word, absolute carnage. 717 obviously isn't the strongest result. Sliding back again slightly in the ranks. And it just came down to our sort of gun selections all dropping like flies. So Harry Grant with a 34 obviously played the full 80, apart from the 10 minutes that he went off with Sinbin. So that obviously impacted his score as well. But, it's definitely an excusable one. Just was that sort of a game where nothing went right for the Storm. Willison with a 26, solid off the bench, but again, not getting the minutes. We're just hoping he'll do us a job over Origin. Ruben Cotter with 57. He's been really good the last couple of weeks. So, happy to hold him leading up into Origin 1. Josh Curran with a 32, so probably peaking in price. But his, his work rate, dual position, Origin by schedule means he's not going anywhere. So we brought Angus Crichton in, which worked out well with a 78. Absolutely on fire at the moment. So I'm glad to be on board. Sean Bloor with a 45, so solid. Obviously outshone by Ali Katoa on the other edge, but 45 is decent for particularly the price we got him at. So Nico Hines was a late-ish out with his calf. I couldn't remember what it was. Sorry, I got distracted by the phone as well. But yeah, calf injury. So yeah, sounds very similar to Jerome Hughes. So it might be one like a week to week sort of thing. So I don't know if it's worth trading out. Nathan Cleary, however, has re-injured his hamstring, which probably means he's going to be out for a good while. They're saying about 8 weeks. Pretty much ruled him out of the Origin series. So, we'll definitely put Cleary on the chopping block this week. Kale Ero with a 30 was solid in a game where, weren't expecting him to do much against the Storm. So we'll cop that. Kieran's with a 57. So it looked like he was down with a knee injury at one stage, but bounced back and just, running, tackle busting best. Tom Trbojevic, another hamstring injury, did score us 44 points before, though, so that was okay. Armstrong out with a HIA, so probably misses 1 week, which isn't ideal. But, we've got bigger issues to fix. And Fa'alongo we brought in, only returned to 19, which was, not great, but he had that one run, about 50 metres. It sort of shows that glimpse of what he's capable of. But obviously, the Sharks are a really good defensive team, so it wasn't like we were expecting a massive upside game from him. On our bench, Jaden Brayley was solid with a 48. Sean Johnson, injured pec, tried to push through in the second half, but ultimately ended up coming off, only scoring a 25. I guess particularly upsetting for us, given that we only traded him in last week. So might have to look at the extent of that before we move on. Galvin with a 41, doing his bit. In the end, we were going to take Bostock's 38 as the loop, but we still ended up getting Finny Filiaki because of the Hines out. So 23 from him. And then Hughes, 30 is a pass. And Jamin Salmon with the 23 might be even starting to leak a bit of value potentially. And, I guess if that's all he's going to score us, might not even be worth holding. So scored plus 3K. So, so he's basically done with his cash gen. He's made us 150. So we can't complain, but, it could be one to move on from this week. Before we get into trades, we should have a look at the head-to-heads. So snuck a win against Imagine losing. Well, I could almost believe it this week. But Marshall King outpointed Grant. Isaiah Yeo in the middle is really nice to have. Max King, solid with 52. Terrell May, another good game with a 46. Eli Katoa with a 63. So, generally doing quite well. But then Smithy's on the bye. Moses didn't play and was also the captain. So maybe a bit of a, um, a dead player in our league, ghost player. Drew Hutchinson with the 31 suggests that maybe hasn't been a lot of trading going on. Simonson with 60 was quite good though. Got Teddy 60 as the vice captain, so a bit of luck there. But has Terrell May with the 20. Taylor May with the 24, and Kane Bradley, who hasn't really featured much at all this season. So he's got Armstrong, so I don't know how long he's been MIA for, but yeah, clearly, I guess just not updating the team this week or something. Not too sure. So probably lucky to get away with that given the results of some of his players there. But let's have a look at the whole league. So Helen Keller's optometrist with an 850 must be crushing overall. I think that's far and away the best score this week, so we'll have a look. So I had Grant Fino with a 32, Jolliffe 48, Platt 32. So a bit of a pod middle rotation, but doing the job. So Kai Pierce Paul with 32, had Crichton 78. Dylan Brown as vice captain and then getting the double because Hines was out. So 77, that's worked out brilliantly. Trey Fuller with a 61. And I thought we had Fuller, didn't we? Did I just skip over him before? Maybe I did. Don't know. I'll have to go back and have a look. I don't know. I think I skipped him because of his expensive starting price in fantasy. That's right. And that's come back to bite me. But Gagai 42, Mane 40, very solid. Obviously got Tom Travojevic as well, so wasn't perfect this week. But even with Dell on the bench, 51, I know I put him on the chopping block last week, so he's responded. Blaze Talungi probably would have got that 57 in place of Nico Hines, so that's a win. Yeah, well done. Good stuff. I did hear Pierre Cora went terrible. I didn't realise it was that terrible. So there you go. All right, so I guess in terms of the trades this week, we're probably lucky we've got three. Not so lucky we're running out of them. But as I said, I think Cleary's definitely got to go. Actually, before I do trades, I should move players off the field. That seems to work better. So we can play KO Weeks this week. Also, I guess if Hines is out, we can cover with Galvin. Armstrong out. We might even need KO Weeks at wing fullback, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so maybe we'll just put Hines back in the halves weeks there. So essentially, we've only got 16 at the moment, given all the injuries. As I said, we've got to monitor SJ and Hines a bit closer. But I reckon we can probably get out of Tom Travojevic and Nathan Cleary, given it's hamstring and they're both out fairly long term. So it does give us a war chest again. But the thing is, who do we bring in? I guess looking at the top three, Fafita, Yo, Haas, all going to play Origin, you'd imagine. So can we cover them for the Origin period? Fanoa Blake doesn't play around 13. Other than that, he's pretty good to go. Carrigan, Origin. Hopgood, probably Origin or on the fringes. Um, Trey Fuller, so Hammer might be back this week. Dylan Edwards, probably peaked in price, I would have thought, but obviously doing quite well at the moment. We'll have the goal kicking as well with Cleary gone long term, which is a win. So after that, you can see like Olakwatu injured, suspended, should be back this week, but could be a chance for New South Wales. Jerome Hughes injured, Fogarty obviously injured. Tohu Harris doesn't play around 13. Joey Manu, so despite scoring 40, dropped in price this week. So maybe we could look at him. But I think even though we've got all the money, we probably do have a couple of value options. So the first one being Blaze Talangi. So it looked really good at fullback. Scored 57. We do need a bit of cover in our centres at the moment. So he will also provide that, which is super handy. So a couple of trades, trading him out, trading him back in, but it is what it is. Um, so then after that, it's who do we pick? I guess in some potentially good news, if I can find him. Didn't think he was averaging that bad this year. But Mitchell Moses might be back. We could look at. I guess obviously that could also impact Dylan Brown. So at 750 we could get him in. The other option, which I'm fairly intrigued by, and this should be there's no surprise to long-term viewers of the channel, but Matt Burton, it's going all right, scoring well. The Bulldogs are attacking well at the moment, so just to cover in the halves. Obviously, if Hines is out, and we need weeks to cover at wing fullback, we could do that. I guess the other option is obviously as well we could look at just getting another wing fullback in. So, like I said, I think Salmon's time's just about done. So we could even get rid of him also and filter it. We only want wing fullbacks to consider. So, it could go like a Scott Drinkwater, although he's lost a bit of value. But playing South this week, he really didn't look convincing on the weekend against the Dragons. On the other flip side, you've got Latrell, who, he is what he is. He can do crazy things on the field, but then he can also go missing for patches. But we could also go Joe Manu. They are playing the Sharks this week though, which is I guess the reason why I'm a bit hesitant to bring him in. But it could be Dylan Edwards as well. So I think it's between Drinkwater and Edwards. Um, so just looking at the selections, they're both at about 10%. I guess the other option is we could go the real pod play and bring them both in. So if I reverse the Matt Burton trade, so Tom Trbojevic out, Jamin Salmon out, and we just go bang bang. Yep, still got some cash in the bank. So we can just look at it, I suppose, and see how it looks. So obviously we swap Weeks with Edwards, Drinkwater with, let's just say Bostock, and then Weeks swaps with Hines. And then we end up with 18 playing this week, which is alright, I suppose. Not ideal, but it is what it is. And I mean, given the Bulldogs play first, it's probably going to be something like this, where we loop Sam Hughes with Bostock, but we could probably play the other three quite comfortably. Um, so have a look at Hughes if he's solid enough. We don't need to worry about Bostock going off. And then just captaincy, I suppose, is the other thing to consider at this point. And, all the halves, the options we love are gone. So I guess on form, it's probably got to be Angus Crichton and probably Reuben Cotter. Unless we want to do something real crazy like go with Dylan Edwards. They are playing the Warriors, who obviously, aren't in the best form. They are playing in the 2 o'clock game on Sunday. So hopefully it's a fast pitch. I guess that's the other thing to consider. Though we're talking it's going to be a bit wet in Brisbane this weekend. Lovely day today, so I don't know if that's going to continue. But hopefully it does, because it always makes for more exciting footy. when it's a dry pitch. But something like that I think is going to be about right. So Harry Grant's always in that conversation too. So he could be VC quite easily. But yeah, we'll probably talk more in the round preview on Thursday. We've obviously got team lists coming out tomorrow. Tops, chops, traps, and slaps on Wednesday. So the usual sort of programming. Um, but yeah, other than that, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the content for NRL Fantasy. Subscribe to the channel for all the fantasy sports content. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.